Howdy, Tony. Hey, for those listening, Gary Leland here.
Hello, everybody. We are live.
We're live here. So this is, show number 3? Is that right?
If you're counting, let's see, the third show number 1 was episode 0, wasn't it?
Well,
Isn't that what we're calling?
Well, we call it episode 0, but it's still show number 1. It was like the worst show ever.
It was a good show. It was good for number 1.
It was the worst show ever. We had to take it off the air.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, show number 2 was better.
Mm-hmm. So we kept that one, didn't we?
Yeah, it's still on.
That's our first
real. It wasn't a great show, but it was much better than show number 1. That's for sure. Or show number
we're doing our best.
You know, whatever we want to call it. It was much better. Much better than that. So how you doing today, Tony?
Well, we're scrambling because there's so much interest in our conference that we're figuring out where to put people. We're figuring out what to do. We're working out the details. If you don't know, we're just excited to have a conference coming up in Addison, Texas.
That is correct. Hey, before we get to that, though, I forgot to give our price of Bitcoin this week, which is another down week for us, Tony. Since last week, Bitcoin is down $614.78 over the last week, or 92.2%. That's so. I'm getting tired of this, Tony.
That's not going to be a good thing for crypto marriages. Let's put it that way.
For what?
Crypto marriages. You know, like the husband and the wife, and then the husband says, "We bought crypto," and the wife says, "What's it at?"
Oh. So are you having any of that at your house since you're married and you're into crypto?
I'm in the crypto world. Let's just say we don't talk about it.
Oh, that's a good subject. Yeah, my wife looks at it like once a week, and she'll go, "Well, I haven't looked at it in a week, and wow, it's really down." It's not quite as bad as if you look at it every day. You get used to seeing it down. And it's only down a little bit at a time that way, too.
Exactly.
But, yeah, they came up with a name here today in the office. They had Crypto Connections. They said somebody should make a dating website called Crypto Connections.
Oh.
And it could be for crypto people. And I said, well, and my thought was when I heard that, I said, that'd just be a bunch of people trying to find somebody with a lot of crypto to go out with. So they'd be hoping to find a Bitcoin billionaire to go out with.
The kind of like the sugar daddy?
Right.
The crypto daddy?
Yeah, that would be more like a crypto daddy. So that's what my mind went to when I heard that.
Well, before anyone grabs it, we better grab the domain.
Yeah, I don't know if it was available. It's that's the crazy thing about domain names in crypto. I've been in this domain space for a long time, and so have you. I mean, I just realized the other day my first e-commerce site I did 22 years ago. And I have never seen a domain space that is so crowded that you can't find. I don't know how we got Crypto Cousins. I mean, I'm just still amazed that we have that name. And I guess we ought to, for people who, this shoots out to people and people stumble on this. And by doing these shows, Tony, we may run into some people who aren't that familiar with us and going,
well, we're famous, aren't we? We're famous.
Famous in our own mind. But,
legends in our own mind.
But Tony and I are the Crypto Cousins. This is the Crypto Cousins channel, but we do the Crypto Cousins podcast. We have a lot of Crypto Cousins stuff, so you might want to go to CryptoCousins.com when you get a chance and you can check us out. But we are the Crypto Cousins, and I still don't know how I was able to find that domain name. I mean, that just is so weird that was available. And that was back in November. But still, it took me like all day to find that one. There were so many people. So I'm glad we were fortunate enough to find that one at least ways. Hey, did you see this article? And some of the articles we're doing today are from one of our sites, the Crypto Cousins sites, the
our 4-minute crypto.
4-minute crypto. Thank you. I can't remember the name of it. 4-minute crypto. Oh, that's
why is it 4-minute, Gary, not 5-minute crypto?
Because someone owned the name 5-minute crypto. That's how hard it is to find stuff. So it's 4minutecrypto.com, but we're just these should be in the links, should be in the show notes, and some of these are just going to be those. But this show comes out every morning, 4minutecrypto.com. So you might want to go to youtube.com/4minutecrypto, and you can subscribe and get your daily dose of crypto news. You like that? Daily dose?
Daily dose.
Yes, it's a daily dose.
Get dosed up.
So did you see this story, though? I kind of like this story, this first one here. U.S. congressmen who own cryptos have to identify themselves. I kind of thought that was interesting, since they can now, at the moment, do all the insider trading they want on stocks. And use their knowledge.
But they have to identify crypto.
Yeah, and it also says in the same article, it said not only that they have more than $1,000 worth of crypto, they have to declare it on whatever their declaration forms they do within 45 days if they have more than $1,000 worth. And they can't use, it says specifically in there, they can't use their insider knowledge for their advantage to make money off an ICO or help them with promote an ICO. And they can't be involved with an ICO any other way except for how you and I could be involved with an ICO. So I'm kind of confused on that, since they can do whatever in the hell they want with stocks.
Well, I guess all 3 U.S. congressmen who own crypto are going to be affected. They're not the brightest bunch.
Well, Rand Paul owns crypto, I believe.
I'm sure he does.
But I'm curious now. Now the thing about this article is, Tony, not only is it interesting to see the fact that this article says they have to declare their crypto, but so do their wives. If their wife buys some crypto, so they can't have their wife buying them. I guess they got a Joe down the street do it. But if their wife buys it, they have to report it. And if they do anything with it, they have to report it. But, you see someone go into politics as a senator, when they start out in that stuff, they're a young man or a woman, and they go in there, and I'm not saying they're poor, and I'm not saying they're rich. They're just average Joe Blow. But after they're in there for 10 years, they're worth millions of dollars normally.
Mm-hmm.
I mean...
what happens?
Yeah, and that congressional salary is pretty nice, but they also have to live in Washington, D.C., which is real expensive, and they can't have another job. So how do they do that without... And you know how they do it. They know the train's coming through the town, and they go buy all the property in the town, and they don't get in trouble for it. But they're going to get in trouble for Bitcoin?
If they had to figure out how to make a law to keep every congressperson from taking advantage of their position, the law book would be like 10 inches thick.
Well, I think the law books are I think they're like 150 volumes, 10 inches thick. So
they're already.
Yeah, I don't think that's...
There's already tons of laws.
Yeah, you have to have like
Why
a small
doesn't that
truck?
Stop the criminals?
You have to have a small truck to bring it in.
They don't obey the law. That's the whole point.
That could be the case. That could be the case. But, I'm curious to see... The thing I'm curious to see, Tony, is if there's someone who's been bad-mouthing crypto, saying, this stuff is a bubble, this stuff is terrible, this stuff is no good, and it turns out that they got a lot of crypto.
That would be very interesting. That would be interesting.
Yeah, where they driving the price down.
It was revealed, yes.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of... I think that has some good stuff that could happen there that could be interesting as time comes by. So that's, like I said, that's an article that we did over at Crypto Cousins. We didn't write the article over there. We take articles we find and we do an audio-video version. But now, I do want to get into Block Boom. You were starting to talk about that a second ago. I think,
I can't stop talking about it.
Well, this is our conference here. This conference
we're working on it like 18 hours a day.
It's coming up too, July 14th. So it's almost here. You can see it at bitblockboom.com. But Tony, I'm now just telling people it's a true Bitcoin conference. It's not a crypto conference. It's a Bitcoin conference.
It's a Bitcoin conference. We're trying to make the distinction. So if that distinction that we're not going to be shilling ICOs, we're not going to be teaching you how to buy EOS or, God forbid, Ripple, we're going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to talk about the basics. We're going to talk about what this is all about, what Satoshi Nakamoto created, which is then copied 2,000 times. We're going to talk about Bitcoin, not blockchain. people talk to you about blockchain and they forget to talk about Bitcoin, then you should look at them askance, because the whole blockchain without Bitcoin is farcical. We can get into the details, but we do want to say that the conference is sponsored by our platinum sponsor, Crypto Unicorn Money, which is a fantastic business that helps you to understand how to earn money with crypto.
Yeah, and Casey Watkins runs that, and it's a great site and a great thing to get involved with there. You know, Tony, I was talking to you this morning about kind of what you were just saying a second ago about the blockchain. And, you know, or maybe it was yesterday or was it this morning? I can't remember, but I find it amazing.
I was sleeping in today, so it's probably yesterday.
Okay, I find it amazing. I was watching a commercial yesterday for IBM or somebody, I can't remember who, and they were talking about the blockchain on this commercial. How they're doing everything on the blockchain, moving this food, and all right, got it on the blockchain, and we can tell. And I'm kind of going, you know, is you know, like Jimmy Song says, blockchain is only good for crypto money. It's really not good for anything else. I mean, isn't it really, if you're not using it for security, something like money that you can't trust third parties, isn't it just a really slow database, Tony? Wouldn't you say that blockchain is just a slow database? I mean, now, it's okay to have a slow database if you're getting the security aspect in return, but if you're just keeping up with fruit going from Florida to Ohio, I mean, wouldn't a regular database work just as good?
Not only is it a slow database, but because it's decentralized, it's a slow database on thousands of other computers that you don't have any control over.
And you got to pay.
So Jimmy points out. Jimmy points out many problems with blockchain. If you're looking for blockchain to solve your problems, you know, it's not going to solve a lot of problems. It's going to create many more problems. So if you have a bad actor who downloads your blockchain, puts it on their system, and they are trying to hack it or to actually put spam into your database or whatever, because it's distributed and decentralized, you're going to have some trouble keeping that person out. So it's a big mess. And if you want to control your blockchain, then you really want to rethink it, because blockchain is not about control. Blockchain is about giving up control and trusting in the math, trusting in how the system is coded. So that's going to make the difference. Satoshi Nakamoto coded the rules that the full nodes, I'm running a full node, you're running a full node, we're running full Bitcoin nodes. And these nodes are ensuring that the money being transferred from Bitcoin address to Bitcoin address is not being double spent. People are not.
Yeah. So do you have to make sure the fruit isn't double shipped? I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm agreeing with Jimmy Song. I don't know what the purpose is of a slow database. And
that's a great article.
How hard would it be to do a 51% attack? How many people are going to be involved in the blockchain on IBM's fruit transfers for the banana company?
Banana company, they're going to end up doing a proof of stake anyway. They're probably not going to do proof of work. Okay. They're going to do proof of stake, which then means that just the people that you like, the people that you voted and you trusted, those people are going to be able to control the
kind of like EOS?
A lot like EOS. I feel so bad for the people who were duped by the EOS train. I mean, you know, they're just like, they're on the train, and then this train is like a slow motion train wreck. It's like, it's way worse than Ethereum.
Yeah, and I read today they're thinking about changing the Constitution for EOS Constitution. So, but before we get out of this block boom, I want to make sure everybody knows that we do have a discount code for anyone who's interested in coming.
Listening today can save you a lot of money.
Yeah, it definitely can, because I don't know, what does it run now? Almost $300 to come.
Yeah, price goes up, tick tock every 2 weeks, and I bumped it up this morning, and I believe the full ticket price, standard ticket price, is $294. So it's half price with the Crypto Cousins 50% off coupon. Cousins, use the Cousins code on your Eventbrite registration.
So when you sign up, just use the word Cousins, plural. That'll give you a 50% discount. So I want to make sure I didn't want to go back to that, but I didn't want to forget to tell people about that. But yeah,
well, let me check. Is it Cousins or
it's S? It's with an S. It's definitely
with the S. Yeah. Oh, fantastic! Oh, I see it. Yeah, here we go. Cousins.
So I wanted to make sure everybody knew that. But yeah, I thought that was kind of crazy that I saw they were thinking about doing a change in the Constitution. I mean, they've been working on that for a year over at EOS.
It's a train wreck.
And it comes out, and less than a month later, they decide, after waiting a year to come out, they need to redo the Constitution of it. I mean,
you heard it here, folks. It's a train wreck.
I think I have a small train I can put at the bottom of it. No. Okay.
So anyway, that's why we're having the conference, so that people don't get caught up in this ICO craze, this altcoin craze. It's crazy.
You can get caught up in that, but I think it's good. You know, I had someone ask the other day, said, well, my coffee sponsor, I have a coffee sponsor at the 7-Eleven. Dona gives me free coffee every day, which is kind of cool. That's like $2 every day, so what's that, $60 a month? And the only thing is, I just have to answer any crypto questions he asks, so that's a good deal. So Dona, I gave him a card there and goes, I just don't know, or one of the people working there said, I'd like to come, but I don't know anything about crypto or Bitcoin.
I hear that all the time.
Yeah, and I said, if
that
you
is
come
the biggest
to this,
objection to coming to the. We're going to have to fix the website right at the top. You don't need to know anything about Bitcoin.
Well, you know, I told him, I said, if you come to this conference, you'll know about it. That's the whole purpose. It's not like to upgrade your knowledge, it's to teach you everything you need to know about. I mean, we have people coming from. Really, we have someone from Saifedean is coming from Europe, right?
Yeah.
And we've got people coming from everywhere. It's a great lineup.
New York, coming from Austin, keep Austin weird. We've got people coming in from all over Texas. And, these folks are going to talk about Bitcoin. You know, you can see the topics. You know, these are basic topics. There's no mathematics involved.
Yeah, it's going to be a great conference, though. It really is. And the next thing I had to go over here, Tony, I'm sure that you saw this. I'm assuming you did. Is the top 3 hardware wallets for Bitcoin and crypto. Did you see that yet? The listing of what they claim were the top 3. And
I confess, didn't see that one.
No problem at all. I was just wondering, and we'll go over them, and I'll say what they are. I was just wondering
you
if you
be
agreed.
The leader. If I agreed, I'm gonna. You know me. I don't agree with most people.
Okay.
I'm disagreeable.
and you know, the thing is, I forgot the name of the first wallet already, or the third place wallet. What's the wallet that was bought by Shapeshift?
I forgot. It's not Ledger. It's not Treasure. Is it KeepKey?
KeepKey. Thank you. KeepKey, they claim,
those are the big.
Was number 3. And I didn't know. I found out like a day later that Shapeshift bought that. So they wanted to get into the wallet business, so they bought KeepKey. And number 2 it had was Treasure. And number 1 it had was the Ledger.
The Ledger.
Yeah.
Here's my Ledger.
My Treasure.
I keep it in my safe, but I'll take it out for the show.
Let's see it. It's a small
USB.
Oh, so you were prepared.
I was prepared today.
Well, since I was at the office, I didn't want to bring my Ledger up here.
Took it out of the safe.
Yeah. So, you know, the reason they have that list, or the reason they gave really pretty much both the Treasure and Ledger about the same ratings, but Ledger they gave a higher rating because Treasure was made out of plastic. And Ledger, I guess technically would be safer made out of metal. I mean, you wouldn't step on it by accident and crack it. So that was the...
Mine looks like it's made out of plastic too. Or maybe it's got metal on the outside.
Well, maybe it's got that metal case that goes
It's the
around.
metal casing on the outside.
Yeah, so that's what I could tell for the most part. That made that. What'd that run?
It depends on the day you buy it. You know, on Amazon it varies. I think $94 roughly.
Yeah, I think
70 to 90.
Mine was in that area, but now they have the Model T Treasure, which I have the old model, and they got a new
with the little screen.
Yeah, they have a new Ledger too now, don't they? Ledger S. Is yours a S or is yours?
Mine's the Ledger Nano S, exactly.
Yours, yes. Okay.
The Ledger has a bigger screen now too. Ledger has a big one, and Vosk reviewed that one, our friend Vosk, and he wasn't terribly happy. He got it from Miss Vosk as a Christmas present,
and he was not happy with it.
You know, the bottom line is you have to use the Chrome app anyway, so I don't really find it has a bigger screen, but it didn't have a bigger capacity, and he wasn't terribly excited about it. I don't know.
Well, I think they all could be a little bit easier to use.
But we love our Exodus wallet, though.
I love my Exodus wallet, but it's not on my phone.
It's not on your phone. But we're excited to have Exodus providing one of our speakers.
Oh, yeah. We sure are. We're having Exodus. 2 people from Exodus will be there.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, so they asked for another ticket for the co-worker, I guess.
Fantastic. Yes, a speaker. We always provide a speaker can bring a friend or a lover or a spouse or something.
Now, speaking
of... No pets, though.
No goldfish either. I hate it when they try to eat those goldfish. Now, speaking of wallets, we do have the Crypto Cousins store, which is at cryptocousins.com/shop, and we do sell a wallet there.
We sell 2 wallets, actually.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. We got a new one that I just added. I added it, and I forgot.
Cousin Risen.
Why don't you tell them about the one, and while you're doing that, I'm going to grab the other one.
All right. Let's see if I have it within reach.
Open Dime.
Open Dime. I don't have it within reach. But we have the Open Dime, which is the most secure Bitcoin wallet on the planet. Why is it the most secure Bitcoin wallet on the planet? Because your private key is the most important thing to keep private. That key is what enables you to spend your Bitcoin. So when you generate a private key on a phone, or you go to a website, God forbid, you go to some website and it says, here's your private key. Everything between you and that website, in other words, a man in the middle, can grab your private keys. And so if anyone grabs your private keys and you have money on your wallet, they can spend it like that. And you hear examples of that when people lose their money. It's because of that. So your private key is the most powerful thing. So what does the Open Dime do? Not to drag this out. It creates the private key right on the USB stick. And that is really powerful because then if your computer or your phone is breached in some manner, even say someone has some malware in there or something regarding your Wi-Fi or anywhere that there could be some malware, then they will know your private keys. But because I'm just doing a little thing like this, on the Open Dime, they won't be able to access it. It all takes place on the USB stick. And then you can just, once you create your private key, which creates a public key as well, you plug it into your computer, you take a look and see what your address is, and then you can send your Bitcoin to that public address, and when you want to spend it, then you can poke a little hole in your Open Dime device, and it changes the circuitry a little bit, and it reveals the private key to you on a text file, and then you can take the money off. But it's not for day-to-day spending like that kind of wallet. It's to hang on to and use like a credit stick. You know, you put $1,000 on there, you go down to the corner neighborhood, whatever the guy's selling in a street back alley, and you can buy that for $1,000, and it's an off-chain transaction. I'm not saying anything about buying something in the back alley. It could be something nice, or it could be something illegal. It's up to you.
Okay, well that's the Open Dime. And it's pretty affordable, too. Instead of being like $90, it's like $19, which is a big thing about it.
It's very cheap.
So, yeah, but I think you got a good point. It's like watching a Star Trek movie when they give them a credit stick.
The cred stick, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's a lot cheaper than $10,000 a year. Did you hear there's a new service that's $10,000 a year, or 1.5 Bitcoins that will take care of your Bitcoin security needs?
Well, that's not for people like you. That's, if you got some guy that
bought 1,000 Bitcoins. That's for somebody.
Yeah, someone buys 1,000 Bitcoins, like Tim Draper or something buys 1,000 Bitcoins. That might be a good thing to do because it's probably insured. That stuff's just relevant. But it's not
for your average folk.
Yeah, it's nothing I would use. Now, the other wallet we sell is the Roger Wilco wallet.
Whoa, there it is. Whoa.
Yeah,
I haven't seen one yet.
Oh, you hadn't even seen one?
Oh, no.
But it's actually
under wraps.
Yeah, it's a pad. It comes in this attractive case. And it's a wallet. There you go. There's their logo in the back, Roger Wilco logo. Mm-hmm. And it's a pad that has nothing on it except for Android wallets. It runs the Android system. That's all that's on it. And they've done all that here in the U.S., put the wallets on it and stuff, because they didn't want to have that done overseas in China. So they're trying to keep it as secure as they can, I guess. Mm-hmm. But there's the wallet itself, and then show you.
So the top 3 hardware wallets, and then we have number 4 and number 5. Those weren't listed.
It's actually a pretty good idea, and it also comes with Dr. Bitcoin videos on it. So, but it's actually a pretty good idea. So you're using a pad, an Android pad, instead of a little phone. You know, you can work with it, and it's secure, more secure than a regular phone would be.
And phones come and go. You know, you're going to get a phone, and every couple of years you're going to upgrade it. And, you know, what do you do? What if you turn in your phone by accident at the end of your service contract? Or you lose your phone? That's even worse.
Yeah, I want to know what happens if you have, getting off the subject a little bit, Tony. What happens if you've got two-part authentication, two-factor authentication on your phone? And this is off our subject or our script, but okay, say I'm out by my pool, I'm cleaning my swimming pool, and I got my phone in my pocket, and it falls in the water and dies. And I have to get a new phone. How do I... Now, I know when I add Google two-factor authentication on there, it's not going to be synced. So what do you do?
You're in trouble at that point. You have to, when you first started the Google authentication, they gave you like a special secret key. It's like a seed number or a special secret thing that lets you transfer it to another phone.
Google did?
If I recall. The Google did. I printed it out.
So I probably have it somewhere then and just don't even remember it.
Yeah.
Because I've always wondered about that. What would happen to a guy, he's got his phone, he drops it, breaks it, loses it, whatever. Or maybe he loses it or someone steals it so he wipes it, remotely wipes it. But now, how does he access his money that may be on anything? Because even my emails now I have to use Google Authenticator.
I use this device. It's a little hardware device that plug in and press the button, and it authenticates me for when I sign into Google.
So that's
a hardware key.
Instead of using Google Authenticator, that's like a Google hardware key authenticator.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think my Google Authenticator, I just have to do it if I'm like, if I was like in Korea or
if you're far away, then they ask you. And then if there's a problem, they generally say, well, we can do a different way. They give you another second option. Hold on a second. Let me grab the open dime. It's not that far away. I just didn't want to leave the camera. Here's the open dime. And
I showed him while you were...
You had an open dime?
Well, I had the website page on the store page.
Oh, I didn't see that. I can't see that from here.
Can't see
but anyway, yes, it's the open dime.
See, that's why I say I got a lot of stuff I do ahead of time. See?
You're doing a lot of stuff. I'm just showing up and talking.
Yeah. So, and actually we were showing the Roger Wilco page, and we showed BitPaboom.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, but they seen that. I showed them the 2-pack and the 3-pack. So...
to pull this up on my phone. I'm going to see what's happening on our show.
So, also... Another thing I have here, which is really relevant to us today, is the next story I wanted to go over was Facebook stops their ban on cryptocurrency. Now, they didn't stop all cryptocurrency ads, but they've stopped ads for ICOs they won't allow. But they're letting people run regular ads, I guess, basic ads for crypto, which... What did we do? What did you do yesterday as soon as we found this out? As soon as
we found out, I sent in the application. It's an application.
Yeah, that's what it said. I was wondering. It says you have to be a approved vendor to do crypto. They still have ads for ICO. So
now I see it. Now I'm listening to the show now. Now I'm seeing it.
Well, I thought that was your job. I thought that was your job. We decided last week
to monitor this show. It took me a little while to get it together.
I'm giving you a hard time. So did it say how long it would take to get approved for the application? So you just can't submit anything yet, like you can for anything else.
I submitted the application, and it's like a support ticket, and it says it's open. So,
I'm curious to see if we get accepted. That's the thing I'm really curious about.
Considering, we're not an ICO, we're not associated with any SEC, regulatory, whatever, we should get accepted.
We should. That's the key word there, should.
I told them everything we do. I wasn't going to leave anything out. because I wanted to be 100% honest. And we basically said that we're doing the conference, we're selling T-shirts, we're selling hats, and we're selling wallets and mining equipment. I said everything.
So you covered the whole spectrum.
The whole spectrum. I don't want to hear later say you left out the Ethan miner and that's a cryptocurrency generating device or something.
Oh, I wouldn't have thought about that.
Yeah, I mean, just put it all on the table.
Well, especially since it's on the website. But speaking, now that you've brought that up, Tony, that we have T-shirts. I'm like showing our clothing line real quick. That's what I need to start doing is telling you what's on the screen here.
Well, I'm watching it now. So
okay, but we have.
But I am 30 seconds behind.
We have T-shirts. We got a lot of caps. We added beanies, toboggans, or whatever you call them this week. So if you're interested in getting your crypto gear, go to cryptocousins.com/shop, and you'll see our store in. Have you seen this one, Tony? Is it on your screen yet? The one with the
I see it now.
With the QR code.
Oh, cool. You're scrolling up there. Oh, getting to it. QR code.
In a second, you'll see the Bitcoin. It just has the Bitcoin logo and a big square QR code.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
That's our QR code.
That's great.
So
there we go.
If someone buys that, maybe they're walking around. Someone will see it. They'll scan their QR code.
Nice. Donate a little bit.
And send us some money. But that's the clothing attire at.
You know me. Unless it's black, I'm not going to buy it. So I may buy the HODL shirt.
Well, I added a black HODL shirt this week. That's
brand new.
That's
yeah.
brand new.
I'm excited. I'm excited about that. I could be wearing that at the conference.
Comes in black and white, so people have their choice there. But that's a brand new item. Is the HODL shirt.
I'm excited.
Yeah, so you should be excited. That was for you, Tony.
I thought so.
So let me get out of there real quick. So if you need any clothing, we've sold some stuff out of there. We've sold a lot of those pins. Several of those Bitcoin pins, lapel pins.
The lapel pins. Hopefully, we didn't lose any at the last conference we were at. Seems to have misplaced.
Yeah, because I didn't take them back because I've searched everywhere. I don't have them, but I do have all the shirts and caps. So you should have, especially if you have the case. Then I would have taken the case too if I'd taken the coins. So you should have the coins and the lapel pins and stuff somewhere. So, when we set up at a show, we sell that stuff while we're out there interviewing people and try to make our money back for attending the show and working there off of that. What else we got here? Antminer Z9 Mini. What's the scoop on this? Is this Voss's video?
Yes, it's a link to Vosk. Vosk coin. Our friend Vosk took the plunge and bought an Antminer Z9 Mini. Now that was $2,000 or $2,100 after power supply, and the Antminer Z9 Mini runs 10,000 solutions per second of Equihash. Now, to give you an idea of what that's like, that's roughly 12 or so 1080 Ti GPU cards. And 12 1080 GPU cards will cost you roughly $10,000. So $10,000 worth of GPU versus $2,000 worth of ASIC miner from Antminer. So Antminer is the name of the product. The company is Bitmain, and Bitmain's been selling Antminers for a long time now. The problem with buying an Antminer is that because everyone now will have an Antminer, the difficulty, in other words, how much money you'll make when you're mining Zcash or some of these other coins using Equihash is going to go down very quickly. So as soon as you get yours, don't waste any time. Don't even read the instructions. Just plug it straight in and start running it, because the day after you get it, you're going to make less and less and less. So hopefully our friend Vosk will make his return on investment. They expect 53 days. You're going to make enough money to get your $2,200 back in 53 days. So the big surprise, of course, was the next version of Antminer is going to be $890, and you'll get that in August. So it's a crazy market out there. We sell GPU mining machines. It's a hit for GPU miners, but it's only a hit for those coins mining Equihash. That's the problem with this one box. It only mines one thing.
There are a lot of Equihash coins, though, Tony. I mean,
there
it's
are,
not
so
like they're all
drop
mining
around.
Zcash like we're mining. It's not like some going Zencash. I mean, so I mean, with as many as there are available to mine, it's not necessarily meaning a big hit for any one coin. Not like if it comes out for Bitcoin. I mean, that's all it mines.
Exactly. So you have it's more varied. But some of the coins decided that they would fork away.
Well, Monero forked.
Monero forked when the Monero miner came out from Ace, and it basically bricked all those miners. And they ended up Antminer people gave away. Like you bought one, and they ended up giving you a coupon so you could get 3 or 4 more.
Because
so that was a big
So you could have
cluster.
a whole room full of them that don't work.
A whole room full that don't work. Exactly.
You think they would like, when they sell you that and it doesn't work, that they would have an option where you could replace the card. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you could unplug the card and go, okay, this is bricked, no longer works Monero. Put this card in, and you can mine something else. You don't have to buy the whole machine. The rest of the machine still works, and it's fine.
Actually, Gary, that's the whole point of an ASIC. If we were to have one, I'd show you when you open up the inside of the ASIC, it's all cards. There's nothing else.
Oh, really?
So that's it. It's a
I've never seen inside
trick
of one.
pony. Yeah, it's a one-trick pony. So you go inside, and it's just like 72 little chips, and all those chips do one thing, and they're all on 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 boards, and there's a fan.
And that's it.
And that's it.
And a loud fan at that.
That's for sure.
Yeah. So as Voss said on his show the other day of this episode is that usually the people who get the cards or the ASIC machines on the first batch do real good, and maybe the second batch. But by the time you're like on the third or fourth batch, you might be lucky if you break even.
Exactly.
So, and then you also have another story here about Nvidia overestimates the Bitcoin mining demand, stuck with SS inventory.
It's, we went through this thing in January, and, we saw it coming. We saw how that there would be this GPU blackout. We talked about it on December 29th. We told people, it's going to be a GPU blackout. The suppliers are telling us they can't get any more GPUs. Now, I don't know what happened, but that we had no GPUs all of the spring quarter, and then suddenly prices started coming back down, and it was like no big deal. We were like, roll back the clock. It was like summer of 2017. So you can now buy the GPUs at the regular list price. And it turns out that Nvidia, trying to, determine what the demand would be for these GPUs, made too many. And so now we have this problem. One of their suppliers gave back 300,000. You'll see if you go to that link. 300,000 gave them back to Nvidia. Nvidia is known to be ruthless with their suppliers, with their supply chain. And so having done that, there's a really big problem. So, and they may not introduce the new line, which is like what people are calling the 11 series of miners. Maybe not even until next year.
So the 1080s could be around for a while.
Your 1080 is going to get long in the tooth, but it's going to be around.
Oh, wow. So if you're waiting for 1180s or 1090s or whatever in the heck they are, you could be waiting a long time.
You'll be waiting a long time. So that we build the Ethan miner with the 1080s. So it's kind of good news for us. The 1080 is not obsolete yet. So we'll see.
Yeah, and I just put the banner up for turnkey mining. But yeah, we've sold quite a few of those machines, and we're mining them ourselves. Think about those ASIC machines. We build those pretty much as we get them in. But those ASIC machines, even Voss said it, a lot of people say they're sitting there mining with those things for 3 or 4 months. And I don't know if it's true or not. And then they say, okay.
Jihan Wu said, we don't do that.
And then we're ready to move up to a new machine, so they start making the new ones and sell the ones they have. But I don't know if that's true or not. I don't have any idea. That's what Voss said. So we'll tell. So that's an interesting story, too. But
that link is not on the show notes because Tony provides the links at the last minute.
Yes.
And Gary's already got the show wrapped up and published. So next time, folks.
Well, I just do it ahead of time so I can hop on here at the last minute.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'll come back we can put them in. Well, we can put them in the comments.
Yeah.
Oh, we can add them.
Yeah, we can edit it and add them. But that's really about it for today. I mean, you have anything else you want to go over?
Well, it's a crypto bear market. The bubble is popped, whatever you want to call it. But people say, is Bitcoin a bubble? And really, you just have to ask yourself, what else is a bubble? You've got the housing bubble. You got the student loan bubble. You got the U.S. dollar bubble. You've got the real estate bubble. Everything's a bubble. Everything's going to blow up. So where do you want to be? You want to be sitting around holding dollars like the Venezuelans are holding bolivars? I mean, that's a horrible story, Gary. You've covered it many times on 4-Minute Crypto, what's going on in Venezuela. So when your fiat currency goes, everybody on the street is trying to figure out how they're going to eat, and you're trying to figure out what you can barter to get some toilet paper, or you're looking down the street thinking, okay, my neighbor's dog, there's some meat on his bones. Maybe we can feed our family tonight. It's not a pretty picture. So having crypto is your hedge against the fiat currencies, which all of them do. All fiat currencies go away, and they are hyperinflated by the government because why not? If you could print more money, wouldn't you?
Yeah, for sure. I just threw the picture on there for the article from Venezuela. This is 4-Minute Crypto, by the way. That's what Tony was talking about. But a lot of the stories today that we came from here. Every morning we come out with... I'm showing in the site real quick. We come out with an ad. Here's the one we talked about. Congressmen have to identify themselves. Top 3 wallets. But that's at 4minutecrypto.com. And then while we're here, Tony, real quick, we talked about it, but we didn't show. Here is our site for BitBlock Boon. And that's, as you can see, we have Pierre Richard, Saifuddin Amous, Mark Hopkins, Casey Watkins, Tor Demeester, Michael Goldstein. We have a great lineup here. And actually, we talked to Ray Redacted last week on our podcast. That was a great show. I missed the actual interview, but the interview was really, really nice. And then I want to go to one more place real quick. And if you haven't been to Crypto Cousins website, you really should check out the Crypto Cousins website. I mean,
because we made it.
Yeah, number one. There's our picture even. So we made it. There's our picture. And actually, see that coin there? We actually have those coins. So those are not fake. We really do own those coins.
We have those coins.
But we have videos, we have podcasts, we have our store. We come out with a podcast every Tuesday. So if you go to the header for podcasts, you'll see that. So
if they're still tuned in at this hour in the live stream, they really are going to love us, and they're going to subscribe.
We can tell whatever we want now.
You guys are diehard. You're in this. So you want to go to cryptocousin.com/subscribe.
Tony, I'm on that page. How did you know? Can you see?
I knew.
Oh, you're watching. You're watching the screen now.
No, it's 30 seconds behind. No, I was ahead of you.
Okay. Oh,
I was ahead of you. Psychic telepathic connection between the cousins. So /subscribe.
But you go to the subscribe page. I mean, no matter how you want to follow your content, we've got a link here. So
it's a smorgasbord.
It's a smorgasbord of links. So check that out. That's a good link setup there. So that's the main things I want to make sure we got in, because I figure, like I said, I think you're right. If we've got them now, if they're still with us after
they really are.
43 minutes, they are really enjoying the show, or they've gotten out of here by now.
Either that or their family.
Yeah, I'm going to have to next week set this camera so you and I'm up at a higher height. Because I like to lean back in my chair, and when I sit up, I'm okay. But when I lean back down, which you'll see in a second, I look like I'm a midget over here.
I'm sitting on a pillow.
Are you really? So get off that pillow so I don't have to sit up. So I'm joking. I'll adjust my camera next week. Well, everybody, please come and check out CryptoCousins.com. Check us out. And every week we're going to start doing these at Tuesday at 1 o'clock. So
hopefully.
That's our plan.
Not really, we're doing our best.
Hey, we're doing way better. If you think about it, our line of growth is really pretty good compared to the terrible show we did so bad we had to take off the air 2 weeks ago. Last week was a big improvement over that, and I think that when we watch this one, it's going to be a big improvement over that. So our learning curve is definitely doing well, I would have to say.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you want to say before we get out of here?
That's it. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys next week. Adios, everybody.